Hello and welcome everybody. I'm excited for this race tonight, and most importantly welcome to Oulton Park in the eSeniors GT3 Group 1, brought to you by SimSports Solution. My name is Nicholas Krause. It's gonna be just me and trying to entertain you and bring you this beautiful race on the Sunday evening here, 6th of June. Hope you're all doing well. Let's get into it. So, last time around we've had Brands Hatch and we had a lot of very strong Ferraris up at the front, and one Ferrari in particular in leading fashion. That has to be obviously Peter Wolfslehner, who I'm talking about, in the number 196 lead lap Ferrari. Dominant performance there once again, as we are getting used to that at some point. He only had one weakness at Oulton Park, where we had an Aston Martin up at the front. But this time around, he has shown, he has talked to me a little bit, said that he might have a weakness around this track, hoping to improve that with me in some little bit of coaching actually that we did during the day today. I hope that's going to be one hell of a race like we've been seeing the past couple of weeks here for the eSeniors. I'm very excited to get to do this with you, and we're going to have the qualification session in just under 3 minutes here for you. So, Oulton Park is a very difficult track, one of the most difficult to me personally. I'm definitely one of the slower tracks for me, if I can say so. It's got 17 corners, with 14 of them actually being what you would consider regular old corners. Lots of small kinks here and there that do count. So I would say that if you want to make the most out of it, it's very important not to push the car too much in the first few laps, because due to the fact that there's so many high bumps, big jumps, and most importantly single file sections, it's super tough to get any sort of overtaking done around here. So the qualification timings will be absolutely crucial when it comes to them getting onto decent lap times here, and the race position in the end will probably be decided by two factors, and one of them is consistency and the second is just keeping it between the white lines. Really, it's very easy, for example Druid's corner, that's turn 15, to run out wide there, or the same goes for Hislop's. That's that second sort of jumping chicane that you have there. Very easy to lose control of the car. And most importantly, in turn number 4 and 5, that's Island Bend, that's the fast left-hander. You're probably taking that in 4th gear, then down to the Shell Oils corner. That's your turn 5 there. One of the most southward points in the track, the lowest one as well, where you find yourself shifting into a hairpin that is very difficult to navigate at any time of day. And most since we have the race coming into the night time as well, it's going to be one hell of a challenge to find your braking point for that and make sure you keep it right on the track, because the inside, there's something very lethal waiting for you. There's a row of barriers. So as we are getting ready here for qualification, session has just jumped over, and we're going to use this opportunity to potentially walk you through a lap as well at the beginning here, being on board with your current championship leader in just a moment. Once again, I hope you are enjoying yourselves. Let me know if you like this track. I'm already seeing Sword and Keyboard saying that it's one of the favorites. I'm assuming sweet track indeed. Sweet, but it stings. If you don't get it right, it certainly packs a punch, to say the least. And your tires, chances are they're gonna probably take a big beating, because these curbs, you'll be jumping over those any time of day. So if you want to make everything right, you have to get your head down and into the game. That's what we're going to do in just a moment. I'll get everything set up. You can now hear it in the background here. That's the cars getting all ready for you. So here we are then, just bringing up the HUD. Everything nice. And here we go. jumping on board here. This is the outlap for Peter Wolfsliner, your championship leader in the eSeniors GT3 Group 1. Strongest drivers from the eSeniors community, bringing to you some awesome racing. So let's go around the track and have a look. We're gonna go into turn 1 here. That's the old hole corner, 3rd gear. Want to keep it nice and steady through there. Easy to get yourself a track warning on the exit. Does so nicely. Now into Dentist, that's this turn here, and then Cascades, that's your turn 3, and Fiddling in 3rd gear 2, and down the lakeside straight by the lake that's to your left hand side. Now into the island bend, that's turn 4, 5th to 4th, right on in there, top of the ref range, and trying to get the car around. He does so very narrowly into Shell's oil corner. So we're going down the gears and into this heavy braking zone before we straighten up. That's turn 6 here. Now 7, 8, and 9, that's Britain's here. Want to jump the curb here. 1st gear, get it nice and easily turned around. Now up the hill once again. That's the hilltop straight. Fittingly so, and you see the ground waves here. It's so bumpy. So we're going into turn 10, 11, and 12 here. That's Hislopes around the stack of tires there, protecting the apex from being abused too much. Track limits definitely a thing around here. Knickerbrook was the corner there. Now Clay Hill, turn 13. This is turn 14 at the water tower, then into Druids. Turn 15 for you. That's very difficult to get it right. He does so neatly. Now the Warwick Bridge is what we're driving under there. Into Lodge Corner, turn 16, and we've already made it just one more. This Deer Lamp, slight left-hand kink just to make it up very nicely. End of the lap here. And what do we have for Wolfsliner? Looks like it's a 134.6. That's your temporary pole position around Oulton Park. He's ahead of Bird actually with that time, and from what I heard earlier, he was looking to potentially get himself into a 32 here for the qualification session. That would be quite impressive if he can pull that up. So that is your championship leader right there, Peter Wolfsliner, and in 2nd position, it's going to be Merce Paunov here in that Aston of his. That's number 69 car. Don't think I've got the custom livery. That's probably on there with a 34.860. A couple of cars trying to improve here already. And there's a nice improvement there on Garo, coming across the line with 34.263. That's a nice improvement to say the least. That's temporary pole position and about 4 tenths quicker than what Wolfsliner was able to achieve on his lap there. So we're getting everything ready once again. It looks like I have a little bit of technical trouble here. Not sure what that is about, but we'll get all of this figured out. Eklund now jumping to 3rd position in the 696. We're following Paunov around the track. So yeah, it looks like a very strong time there from Ongaro. Wondering if he to follow that up. So out and around the track, spinning the car around there, Ms. Paunov. Is Alistair Hughes not yet with a time, and validated 35.9 was what he was able to achieve before this. Let's see what he can do once he comes across the line once more. Alistair Hughes looking to improve here in the Allen line number 16, coming across the line, 5th place for him, 34.8. Now Wolfsliner up at the front again, pole position temporarily with 33.9. That's exactly what he was looking for. Giovanni Neforsi didn't have the best run last time around, and I think he did actually not finish the Brands Hatch race as far as I can recall in that ORT 63. Starting in 9th position would definitely be a step up for him now as Agaro goes again round and sets a personal fastest lap. And not only that, Neforsi sends it around, spinning right on that. Let's quickly head on over into the holding screen as I'm trying to get my data to work. Sorry about that. There you go. Just quickly trying to figure out my broadcast client here. Sorry for the brief intermission. You can all understand. I want to give you the best experience that you absolutely can. And it looks like Oulton Park is acting a little bit up. It's acting up a little bit. But we'll be back with the action in just one hot moment here. Right, here we go then. Peter Wolfsleder has found 410s already on his lap. Let's see what if he can bring that home. And Craig Holmes also here a little bit further up. And the Saint Sinner, number 109 Bentley. It looks like he's got a bunch of pace under his belt. He currently 1.6 seconds off the pace, but he's looking to cut that gap in half, if not more. Currently 1.3 seconds there in his bag, trying to carry that home across the line. That would be a big improvement. He would be leapfrogging up into the potentially podium places, where 33 point something, any sort of 33 would be needed to bring himself some very promising starting positions here. So Craig Holmes now into turn 15, turn 16, and now up the hill, turn 17. That is the deer leap and cross the line. Craig Holmes goes 6th fastest here. Very nice improvement for him, certainly. Now Wolfsleder also quite deep into the lap here. Looks like he'll be coming across the line. Not too much data. He's currently finding himself in 3rd spot, as Lars Eklund from Sweden with 33.8 has been able to set a new fastest time in the session. Very nicely done. So no improvement that time around for Wolfsleder. Derek Bird, however, is also on an absolute flyer. Let's see what happens here. Derek Bird coming across the line, sets the fastest time so far, 33.8. There we go. Almost missed it. Very well driven by the 701 Porsche here. Super strong lap, and also on a 510s here in the first sector. Carlos Van Brabant is coming into what should be a very good second sector here. Now up and around the curbs, decides not to take them at all at this point in time in the Team West Coast Wankers. So quite surprising for me, to say the least here. I've had some nice improvements all around. It looks like the front of the field seems very competitively close together. Let's see what happens here. 310s right now for Carlos, who we have been watching for a good long time, and behind him chasing is the 196 of Wolfsleder. Has also found a bit of time here too. See the 963 coming across the line here. Just 1 second. There he goes. Oh, actually messed that one up, didn't I? Eric Dont is the car I was looking for in the 963 Ferrari there. Very nice improvement. So he's jumping up into 8th place. Coming across the line, Carlo Vandenberg's fastest. Wow, 33.7. Looks like the Porsche fraction is not messing around here tonight at all, as he's beaten right there. Peter Wolfsleder sets a new fastest lap in the session here, 33.618. So about 10 minutes into the qualification, 20 minutes still to go. What a way to start this off. Super competitive lap times here up at the front. Peter de Jong also into the final turn here off the track in the Pink Pig 23. Had us baffled last time around. Brands Hatch only 14th at the moment in terms of the timing sheets. Now Giovanni Nifosi, we've had him in the picture a little bit earlier, looking to improve quite significantly from that 1.6 second delta that he has to the front of runners. The ORT coming across the line now with some decent pace improvement. 13th place is what the 34.8 is going to get him at this point in time. So most of the cars have already set a lap. There's also a couple of them still decided not to go out at this point. Just quickly had to cough there. Didn't want to get that across to you. You know, staying safe and all that. It's Craig Holmes in the 109 is looking to get himself into 6th position there. Wonderful stuff for the 34.1. It's not quite the 33s that he needs, and we might have already missed the fastest time of the race right now. Belongs to Derek Bird and the DBK 701, just narrowly ahead of Wolfsleder. Wow, it's quite well driven those laps, I have to say the least. Now Peter de Jong once again on a flyer here into turn 16. Gonna see a lot of potential overtakes into here. One of the best corners to do so. That's a lodged corner now into the deer leap across the line, and Peter de Jong jumps to P11 with a 34.5. So that's the sort of alien times you expect at the front, if you can say that. Shout out, you're wishing Chris Bourne fast recovery. Yeah, certainly so. Absolutely. Group 2 race. I hope that was nice and clean, because it's very easy to get yourself into major incidents around this track quite easily. Yeah? Not too many times, not too many cars finding pace at the moment. Only exception out on track is going to be Chris Baker right now in the Rotated Racing as the number 10. Looking to carry home about 4-5 tenths that he had left around the track for him to collect this time around. Currently 22nd position. Turn 16 and 17 just now to clear, and coming across the line, he's looking to leapfrog potentially into P15. Chris Baker, right then, P16 is what he gets with the time. It's the 35.2, and he's probably going to be quite happy with that. Same story will probably be for position number 24, Mark Pocock, who's heading into the second sector right now. It's going to be into his slopes, that Knickerbrook. Very difficult to get that right if you don't have the setup to support it. Now out and around for the TRG Racing up the clay here, turn 13, and then next to the big water tower, if you are paying attention in the background there, Druid's Corner is turn 15 here, as we're seeing there, the nice little sign all around the track trying to let you know that you are actually at Oulton Park here in the eSeniors GT3 Group 1. So here we go. Wonderful stuff there. Oh, as he goes all sideways, he's going to lose the time that he's had in the back. It's very unfortunate end to the lap here for the TRG Racing. Let's not stay on board with that too long. Let him actually recover here, as Neil Bywater is finding his way in the first sector. Lots of cars did head to the pit lane, so just very quickly putting a second just very brief intermission while I'm getting this HUD up and running for us once again. It's getting that session info, so you know how much time there's still going to be left in qualifying. And here we are back on Neil Bywater's number 38 Porsche. Is currently up 3 tenths. That would be enough to potentially go and jump up to P15 and get Paunov in trouble here, because you don't want to be in the midfield when the race starts rolling if you can. So qualification efforts very important here around Oulton Park. So he makes use of all the tracks that are all of the track there. These British tracks actually have something in common. You don't want to use all of the tracks in some of the occasions where you otherwise run over the outside rumble strips quite significantly. It's very easy to unsettle the car with a very uneven terrain there. So let's see what he's gonna get when he comes across the line. Neil Bywater on a flyer right now. Doesn't have too much time in the data as he comes across the line. It is an improvement, but not for position here. It's very close to the back of Baker there, but stays 18th. So one of the few cars currently on and about to potentially go faster than previously as the K-Smith 488 Evo. Never mind that. I probably shouldn't have been talking as he sends it out to the gravel trap. So there's more Bywater action, it seems. Yeah, one of the other cars a bit further down the grid right now is Andrew Ambro. The 55 Ferrari is up a second on his time, and hopefully so, because he's currently 4 seconds off the pace. I'm sure he'll settle into the rhythm and jump up a couple of positions once this qualification session takes it to the sharp end. Lots of cars up at the front at a very similar pace here to Wolfslaner, just about on the pace of his personal best. Now coming across the line, let's see where Ambro is going to go. Looks like he is going to find a second of his time. It's not going to be enough for an improvement though, as he goes quite center of track into turn 1 here now. Alessandro Diamante is second, and sector is already behind him. Now into turn 16 he goes. 51 AF Corsair right now in 10th position, looking to improve on that. So potentially he could set himself up for a P8 here. Coming across the line, he actually goes 6 fastest with 34.194. Very nice improvement, and he's basically at the head of the pack there, and the mid pack in the 3rd row of the grid right now. Very neatly packed in front of Holmes, as we are seeing a new personal best and qualification bests. Looks like Wolfslane has 1.5 tenths quicker than Bird. That's a 33.3. Ho ho ho! Wow, what a lap by Wolfslane as he's just cruising down the hill there and down the Cascades, Lakeside Straight, now Island Bend. He must have had one hell of a lap right there. It's the fastest first sector for him. Have personal best 2nd and 3rd sector as well. Very impressive stuff. We're jumping on over here once again. There's a bit of time in the back here. The number 51 right now in turn number 11, now 12, Knicker Brook, and up the Clay Hill in 1 second here for Alessandro Diamante, who's slowly but steadily climbing the timing towers here. Let me also get this on the side for you so we don't miss anything. Rogerio Santos joined the qualifying a little bit later here and is in 8th place at the moment. So 12 minutes here still to go, still to find and extract that lap time. Looks like Diamante right now 2 tenths up on his personal best, make that just 1, and then he's gonna lose all of it on the final turn here. Very tragic as he is unable to improve despite such flyer off the lap here. Neil Bywater coming across the line. Looks like there's P15 for him with a new personal fastest over 34.7. Now Tony Whitten here is right now in the Haybound racing 56 Ferrari. Lots of Ferraris as we do know and love the cars. It's wonderful to see them right on out here. I hope you are enjoying yourself seeing this absolute flyer off of qualifying. Look how close it is. The top 11 cars basically within 1 second of each other. That's some mega pace and great consistency too. They're definitely extracting all that they can out of the cars. Peter Wolfslane up to 10ths then. For some, it might be very difficult to even grasp the way that he's driving. Now coming across the line, Tony Whitten is going to jump to 9th place there, squeezing Wood here, Jonathan Wood that is, down into 10th place, just narrowly, and Nifosi now out of the top 10 for just a hot moment. So here, with lots of time found in the 2nd sector here, didn't really get the best exit there. Peter Wolfslane is still up on his time and looking to make something happen here. The lead lap esports number 196, really strong pace, and if he can pull this same story off, he's seemingly gonna extend the lead even further here around Oulton Park, where we're finding ourselves here tonight. Now coming across the line, let's see what Wolfslane now can do. If the lap is valid, it will be another improvement, and it looks like it is a 33.2. He sets another benchmark here. Wow, wow, wow. What a handful by Wolfslane as he's jumping back and round. He's already driven everything out of those tires. No need to continue for him. Chasing it with Rogerio Santos and potentially even Craig Holmes here in the background. That's 2 cars quite narrowly in between each other, where Santos right now is in 8th place, looking to push Holmes down a place. Let's see, it's currently 2 tenths up, and Craig Holmes is so as well. For a brief moment there, he loses some time on the exit. Let's see, looks like the Porsche they're getting out of the way neatly. So he's now coming up to Clay Hill, the number 4 Porsche there. That's actually Carlo Van Brabant, P3 for you at the moment, who's out there doing his outlap at the moment. So coming across the line here, the car ahead, we've been talking about him quite a bit. The RGS Racing had some nice time coming across the line. P6 right there. Rogerio Santos finding that improvement, and Craig Holmes in the background. Let's not miss it when he comes across the line. Unable to improve in the Saint Austina. Stays 8th fastest for the moment, but a very good position, I would say, for the front engine car that the Bentley is. Terry Trowbridge here. Let's get him sent off screen. The number 97 is currently on an absolute flyer once again. Last lap was a personal best, the 34.965. Right now enough for 18th. See if we can extract a little bit more lap time here on this qualification lap of his. Coming across the line, Terry Trowbridge unable to improve. 35.1 that time around as he sends it out and fly. Oh, that's the wall, Terry. Gotta watch out for that. It's the easiest way to slow down the car, but not the prettiest. The engineers are gonna be biting their nails if they see you do that in the race here. Surprisingly, Lars Eklund was up at the front row to say the least at some point in time, but right now he finds himself in 4th position, looking to carry some more speed around the track, where Wolfslina is still up well ahead there at the front and only now coming up and around for another flying lap. Like he's currently out on a flying lap. Craig Holmes in the 109. It looks like he wants a bit of extra camera time. Seemingly drove a little bit slower in the beginning just so that we can have an extra look when he's carrying so much speed right on there. We almost missed a P5 there. I was talking about you, Mr. Holmes. Yeah, you right there mowing the lawn. It's a very nice improvement for him indeed. It's a 133.8 jumping into the 33s. That's exactly what he was looking to do with that time. Stay use also with a slight improvement. Chances are he might not be going out, saying that's all we can do in qualification here today. So maybe Peter de Jong in the 23 is already quite significantly round the track and has found a bit of time here in the Pink Peak 23 here. Lars Eklund also on a decent lap, comes across the line. 33.7 for Eklund. You can see it's a nice improvement, but it's not enough to shove Van Brabant from his 3rd spot. He stayed there nice and sound coming across the line. Peter de Jong was caught in some traffic there a little bit. Looks like it's gonna stop him from improving. So not too many cars on flying laps at the moment. Jonathan Wood would be the few cars out there right now looking to improve. Currently found a 10th up in the back in the team West Coast Wankers 71. Now coming into turn 16, 17 up the hill and across the line. It looks like it's P7 there. What a massive jump. Look how close the gap is. He found 1.5 tenths and that's enough for Jonathan Wood to jump 4 places there right on the way. Wow. Wonderful lap there. Wonderful lap indeed. So a bit further down the grid, Chris Baker, we've already had him in the shot, but since lots of the cars are right now waiting to get in fresh set of tires, the Rotec Racing is going to take center of screen for us at the moment, where that Aston Martin is only now about to finish another very quick lap here. At the moment it looks like he has a 10th. That's not going to be enough for an improvement track position wise, and it isn't going to be an improvement at all for Chris Baker. He's going to stay put in 19th as he goes very wide there for turn 1. Let's hope for him that's not an invalid run now as he's going down into the Cascades and to the Lakeside straight here. Very difficult to get this right because the run up into here is quite narrow. You got to get that right. The Alien Buckley races with one arm. Wait, which Buckley? I'm looking into the timing sheets. But certainly, I'm assuming that's you, Stefan there. But these guys definitely top-notch drivers, and that's exactly what you were expecting from the Group 1 here in the eSeniors. It's super good pace, super good level of driving in terms of pace and in terms of racecraft as well. These guys know exactly what they're doing. Patrizio Ongaro there in the 73, going a little bit wider into turn 10 and 11 there, as he probably was hoping. You see then position 19, that's Baker there on the side of the track, So we're now going into grids and all sideways. He's got that all messed up right on there. Breaking the rear wing there. Looks a little bit tilted now, doesn't it? So we are seeing that Derek Bird is now to turn over to some more pleasant things here. Then the sideways Godzilla, an absolute monster of a car and very difficult to navigate that through turrets. We saw it with our very own eyes. Yeah, thank you for clarifying. I'm just trying to get all this soaked in at once. The 3-screen setup is more than necessary for this sort of action, trying to bring you the broadcast that you deserve at home. If you do enjoy this, do make sure you smash that like button, and so that you don't miss any more races, you also drop a subscription here, because the eSeniors lads are doing weekly, almost daily, you could say, very, very frequent uploads and beautiful live streams as the one that you are watching right now. So 2 minutes 40 here in qualifying. My name is Niklas Kraus. I hope you've had a blast so far, and we're looking at a 45-minute race here where looks like the only car that can really catch up with the 196 of Wolfslehner so far is the 701 and the number 4 Porsche. But as we all know, it's really just down to the consistency in the end. At the moment, Derek Bird has 2/10. Let's see if he can carry that up into the second and third sector right now, going into Britain's. That's this very complex section where you really have to get it right to carry speed up to the hilltop straight and into Hislop. Don't want to get that messed up turn 10 and 11 awaiting you. Trying to brake nice and deep, carry lots of speed in, and then just keep it tidy around here as we're going into Knickerbrook as this very, very technical right-hander there. So we're going up the clay hill at just a moment. So it looks like he's there very much on a great lap at this point. Might not be enough to tumble Wolfslehner at the front, but he's certainly going to give it a try. You do have to, just can't use the left for much. Sorry to hear that. Hope you are doing alright. Derek Bird now coming across the line. Looks like it's not going to be much of an improvement. It's a 33.582, which in itself is a super, super great lap, but it's not going to be enough for an improvement here. So checking in, just a second here, Neil Bywater, one of the other Porsche out on track. I think that's going to be one hell of a ride for him. Let's see if he does tend to the inside curbing here. Not quite, definitely avoiding that where the Ferrari in the background seems a little bit more forward coming when it comes to riding that sort of curb on the outside there. It's definitely an interesting element of strategy as well. You can gain some time on the curbs coming into the chicanes here. Just be aware that these are higher than your usual curbs. It's probably going to send you all sideways if you get that messed up. So right now Neil Bywater tending to that 38 very tenderly. It's awesome to see that. Currently up 3/10 and spotting that braking point exactly right. Looking to come across the line with a nice delta of his. Let's see where that brings him. Neil Bywater across the line, 13th quickest. What an improvement. Very, very nice. So what have we missed so far? We had Tony Whitten as well jump into 10th place there. He was way down the order just a couple of minutes to go. Last minute qualification effort. Neil Bywater as well, finding some pace last minute, just as Craig Holmes did. Final cars now coming across the line. It's going to be the 73 out there for a lap. Let's see if I can spot him on the timing sheets. Don't think I can in time. However, we have Alistair Hughes looking to jump potentially into the top 10 here. It's got a lot of time in the bag. Now, not a perfect last turn. That's going to definitely spoil his efforts to some extent. Ellen Line coming across the line, but no improvement there. What a tragedy of a final sector. He had so much potential, but he's going to find himself on the end of the field here, or rather further towards it than he was probably hoping for. So then, what a qualification effort. Up at the front we have Peter Wolfslehner as we're almost used to at this point. I'll quickly bring up the timing tables for you so that we've got everything ready, set and ready for this 45-minute race. It's the eSeniors Group 1 right on around this beautiful track. Oulton Park, certainly absolute legend of a track. You've got so much elevation change, curbs. You've got basically the miniature version of the Nordschleife, if you so will. It's quite an exciting one, to say the least. So let's bring you right on around the track. Maybe you can hear it in my voice. It's actually a little bit raspy, you could say. That's actually because I was commentating about 6 hours yesterday on a different event, also doing the cameras there. So I hope you can understand that, because it is not as easy. Right then, so jumping on over here, minute 45, and we see it here up at the front. We have one Ferrari that everybody has gotten used to. It's the number 196. Wolfslehner has got the track figured out, was almost 3/10 quicker than any other car, and sets himself in for pole position. The 701, second car on the grid, first Porsche. That is going to be Derek Bird here, up at the front. Wonderful stuff there. Second row off the grid, that's going to be Carlos Vanderberg for you, next to Lars Eklund, the 696 red livery that is. So it's going to be Ferrari sandwiching essentially two Porsches there at the start of the grid. And a very nice qualification effort in the end there for where basically two cars that I wouldn't have expected this far up at the front. Number 109 Bentley of Holmes, as well as Ongaro, who had some trouble in the turn 15 Druids there, and that 73 just to the right of the camera right now. Wonderful improvement late during this qualification session. Then is the 51 of Diamante, next to Wood in the fourth row of the grid here. It's the 71 to the right of the car. Wonderful matching liveries here as well. That it's the 177 here of Rogério Santos. That's right on here, 20 seconds in here. I'll try to speed this up a little bit. So then it's Tony Whitten, the RSA number 56. There we go. That's Nifosi next to Smith. Down the order we have Bywater next to Dond. It's P13 and 14 for you. De Jong is next to you. Stan Paunov, Throwbridge, Baker, Statis, Hjord, Walby, and Patterson up to P23. Then it's Pocock, Andrew Embrew, and we have two cars that are currently in the pit lane, so won't account for those. Let's see it as we're rolling around to the start of the grid here. Wonderful stuff there. Hoping for lovely action here. 45 minutes of Oulton Park, brought to you by SimSport Solutions. It's the eSeniors GT3 round number 5. I'm looking forward to this, and I hope that you are too. Well then, green light, and away we go. Not the greatest start there for Vanderbrand. He immediately drops positions there. It is on the inside, however. That's going to be enough to force off the Ferrari there. Now around the outside is going to go for Eklund. He's already got the position figured out. Wonderful stuff there. And it looks like there's a little bit of contact in the background here, side by side for Rogério Santos. And with Whitten at the... wow, that's got to be teammates there in terms of the liveries. That's the Lambo, and up at the front, it looked like Peter Wolfslehner already pulling away slightly here. Let's bring up the cameras here and have a look at the group rolling through. Wonderful shots here. So Derek Bird, second position here. Not too much has changed. Up at the front, only car really benefiting from this has been Eklund, as we're now heading right on down into turn 10, 11. Not many collisions so far, and I'm very happy to see this as we are slowly but progressively finding ourselves down the order here. Wonderful stuff. A bit of a run here for Rogério Santos, who's definitely under fire from Giovanni Nifosi here. Let's see if they get this section cleanly, because it's all so important not to lose a position early in the race. Get that sort of motivation that you need. Up at the front here as well, Lars Eklund in a great position, but while able to get the third spot. Has been dropping back just a little bit here. So there's definitely some big contact there in the background. That's Patrizio Ongaro and the Lamborghini number 63 of Nifosi on the side of the track and an immediate retirement. How tragic is that? Side by side here then for Rogerio Santos, who dropped 3 positions in the progress of that large incident up at the front. Oh, tragedy spelled for Ongaro, as well as I think that was an immediate disconnection there from the 63 Lamborghini. He's already out of the race. He's already gotten himself, got the bags already packed. He was ready to leave right away when that collision happened. How tragic is that? Now, that was right away with a good run there for Terry Trowbridge. But as we already mentioned, it's not very easy to get an overtake done around here. Now is it to the outside there, a little bit wide for De Jong as we're going side by side in the background. Alistair Hughes here defending against Paunov quite nicely. So in the Allen line, not going to lose a position this time. Wonderful stuff here. Now up at the front we also have some very close fights, but this is a beautiful run there. Trowbridge struggling for traction there. Terry to the inside now as we're going into turn 10 and see if there's going to be a move to the inside. Oh, the dive there by Paunov. He completely missed the braking zone. Where is he? Where is he around? Oh, that's going to be costly for him in terms of reputation at the latest. He didn't even lose a spot by the looks of it. Now, chances are Christian Yard is going to have a run on him for a brief moment, but it's not enough for now. He keeps the position after absolutely dodging masterclass there by everybody involved. Great awareness. Checking in here with Lars Eklund, who's having a Porsche on the inside here. That's going to be Vanderban with the number 4 trying to regain a third spot. He leaves the door open and then closes it quite late. So good thing he didn't go for a move that time around, as we're seeing now very close there. Craig Holmes in the background lurking and waiting for a mistake. Looks like there's some cars dropping down the order right now. I'll have to check in who that was. I've got to drink something. My mouth is drying up right away with all the action that is going on. That makes a man have to take a drink. Peter Wolfsley now at the front, drawing away as to the inside there for a brief moment. Vanderben doesn't get the run on him, but still very close fighting. So Neil Bywater with Tony Whitten and Rogerio Santos. Rogerio is in the 177 in the background, had a very nice run on this Porsche for a brief moment. It looks like Whitten might be the slowest car on here. Let's see how they take this section. Very different lines, very different approaches are possible. Chances are you might have a different run, as we can see quite clearly there. Neil Bywater now on the inside is able to defend as they're going single file and all the way Constantina effect. See how close the cars are getting into the braking zone there. All so far quite nice and clean. Looks like Lars Eklund might, however, once again come under fire. Let's see how they're gonna do into the final turn here. The Porsche, an absolute powerhouse. So many traction zones on this track, and that's definitely the area that they're gonna be benefiting in big time. So now up the hill once again. It's gonna be right on around to Holt Corner. That's your turn 1 and waiting their arrival, and nice braking point, getting that all slotted in, and this gap is definitely increasing. The background, I see it there on my timing tables. Looks like Bywater already got the move done there. Might have to take another look. What a move done. He's gotten past Whitten and sending himself up for an 8th position right now. Nikos Margaritis, glad you're joining us here. Wonderful to have you in the chat as well. It's been an absolute cracker of the race so far. Looks like there's a car that has dropped back quite a few positions. Eric Dont there was up on ahead and lost about 4 places. Not quite sure what happened there. 3 places, that is, to be precise. He had a bit of a moment, so let's potentially go back 30 seconds and have another look. Actually, no, let's just stay with the action, because there's so much happening on the track. For example, that Tony Whitten now very much under fire and seemingly holding everyone up in this train a little bit at least. So the Haibahn Racing that was able to qualify 10th, seemingly now a little bit out of position. He's going to have to refocus and find the pace that he had in quali. because he's definitely going to come under fire otherwise. Jumping on board with him now, the rear wing cam, you can see how close Santos is getting there. Now up into the braking zone for Druids. Very tricky to get something done during that corner unless you're already side by side. Now down Warwick Bridge, see it in the background there. Now into the braking zone for Lodge Corner. It's very tight between these cars here, fighting for position number 9. So we are running to the side of the track once again. A train of 3 Ferraris followed by Rogerio Santos, KB Smith, Peter de Jong and Terry Trowbridge, packing Alistair Hughes as the final car of this pack right on here. So 2 connections so far, 2 disconnections so far, 2 retirements. I'm going to quickly check in here with Lars Eklund, who seemingly has lost a position to Holmes on Vanderband. Something definitely happened. He lost about 4 seconds on the last lap. Bit of a mistake there by the 696 driver, now actually having to deal with Jonathan Wood there as well. And in the background we see Diamante and Bywater certainly coming closer and closer together, so big fights all around the track here. This is the fight currently for position 4, where Lars Eklund was 3rd not too long ago, but he and Craig Holmes are definitely losing a little bit of time in the last couple of laps. Probably some sort of incident. That's basically the gap that they also have to position number 3, Vanderband, at the moment. So quick follow up here with KB Smith and those who follow, chasing Rogerio Santos. So they have been, looks like Witten was able to drive away quite significantly there, and chances are that there's basically not much of an overtake opportunity any point in time during the first and second sector. They're just going to be chasing each other for a good long while here. Very close racing, very good pace. Let's talk about pace a little bit. Fastest car on track is your leader at the moment. That's a 34.7 on the last lap, with the fastest lap of the race in his bag as well. So looks just on pace that Wolfsliner can do something quite miraculously so far around the track here. Oulton Park, that is obviously a very nice run there for Peter de Jong. See if he can make something out of it. Not that time around. A bit further down the grid here as well, Mark Pocock is the Ferrari number 17, being chased by Eric Dante. Let's bring that up on screen for you. Lots of fights evolving here a little bit, where Krista Yod also got Jorgen Walby in the bag, but that is certainly not as close as this. Now, would you have a look? Chris Baker also pulling right on up. Let's jump to the rear wing cam once more to the inside and thinks better of it. Not too many brave souls here, and he's definitely going to have a slight bit of a problem there. There's not enough track to get something going for him at the point in time. It is wonderful to see how close these guys can drive without causing any sort of incident. It's wonderful stuff, and a big mistake by the looks of it. Tony Witten had a big moment there. Oh, it's going to be very costly. So we are actually going to jump back 30 seconds here and have another quick look at that. What happened there? What happened there? Oh, tragedy. Oh, he's actually being collected in the background. You can't see it at that point in time, but we will see it at the end of the replay here. Tony Witten was up ahead and then to the outside. Oh, he spins it in Druids to the back, and that diffuser has certainly taken a knack as the 56 tries to rejoin the pit, to rejoin the track. I'm saying pit because it looks like Tony Witten is actually heading to the pit lane at this point in time, chasing quite closely, and it looks like he lost the traction, lost the back end there with the new diffuser, gets tapped and collected, and that's the replay right on there. Look where he is, Tony Witten. So we're jumping back on over to the live screen. That's Tony Witten in the Haybarn Racing up in the pits. Very tragic. Just as Craig Holmes, saint or sinner. He looks like another retirement. What happened there? Oh, don't think we can go back. By the looks of the 109, has set himself completely out of the race very early in, claiming another sole. We've already had 4 drivers forced to retire. Super tough track. But there's still a large chance. That's the reason why it's the mini Nordschleife, I would say. super easy to get yourself involved in an incident, lose the car at a moment's notice, really. So up at the front here, fight for P8, where now KB Smith is at the back of Rogerio Santos, number 177. That's the car ahead in 8th place here in this mini pack. We've had 2 drivers drop out of it here, unfortunately, from that pack. There is, however, the Bentley of Hughes still representing that brand at the moment for us. So that's nice to hear, as we're seeing some big commotion here in the background. I think that was Eric Dont there, almost being overtaken up into turn 1 here. Very close racing as they're now going into Denton's, then down into the Cascades. That's turn 3 for you. Can you definitely see that up at the front? There's some big aero damage there for the HOS number 963. It's definitely a rough start here for some of the cars. And things are going to get even worse. So Tony Whitten is thankfully rejoining the track. Let's see if Holmes will do so too. Happy to see that, that's for sure. It's wonderful. To the inside then for a brief second. Eric Dont will have to defend now as he's actually letting him go there. Thank you very much, says Chris Baker, like taking candy from a baby. He didn't get the exit he wanted, so Eric Dont forced to retire the 15th position, which goes now into the hands of the 13 Aston Martin ahead. What a move that was. So a bit further up in the grids, the same battle pack where we're seeing Peter de Jong in the pink pig, kind of stuck in the middle here. We've got Ferraris, lots of them up at the front, and he's trying to join their fellow Porsche brethrens further up at the grid. We have Wolfsliner leading, then Bird, 3.9 seconds of a gap in between those two, and Vanderbrand is 3 seconds behind that Porsche behind that Porsche. It's right now 3rd place for him, where Lars Eklund, that is 11 seconds behind and is starting to get a little bit of perfume there by Jonathan Wood. You can smell it probably. Then Neil Bywater is 6th place. Alessandro Diamante very close actually right now. Let's see what's happening here up at the front. Looks like a bit of a mistake. He was quite significantly leading this pack here. The RF Corsair, number 51, now basically replacing, in a sense, the Ferrari of Whitten, I think. So now side by side up into here. Let's see what is going to happen. Oh, they're both cutting the track quite significantly. Let's see what Rogerio Santos does with that in the background. Looks like KB Smith might be getting all the way snagged up there. A bit of a sideways movement for Peter de Jong. Oh, the mistake just transcends to the cars in every position behind them as well. Looks like he's not going to be forced out of the place for now. So Peter de Jong staying 10th at the moment. But hot damn, that could have gone south very quickly there if it wasn't for the great reaction by the 2 Ferrari drivers, and then staying on track for Peter de Jong, as well as Hughes there side by side on the exit for a brief moment. Tires, shafts are probably going to be a little bit hot after having to go through that sort of correction oversteer. Let's see what he can do with it. Looks like they're all settling out again. What I'm interested in is, are there any sort of track warnings being given out already? Is there something happening there? Looks like on the last lap, Terry Trowbridge here has been dropping back a little bit. Had a slight moment there, but nothing too major, nothing that he couldn't recover from. So, well, once again up ahead, Smith here is stuck in the middle, stuck by a long shot as well. Fastest lap for him at 35.7. which makes him one of the quickest cars. There's a big mistake there. What happened there? Peter de Jong lost all traction on the exit there and is forced to rejoin this sort of group around, revolving around P8 here. So chasing in P11 for now. It's going to be the spot for him in the number 23. So it's a bit of a rough one for him, but the Porsches are doing fine. So we keep on cheering that on for you. So fight right now for P15 is between Chris Baker and the car ahead, Pocock, who must have made a little bit of a mistake there. So he's now joined by the Aston Martin number 10. Project Racing for you. The closest fights on the track, as we're seeing. Klein is trying to debate me just a little bit. Chances are that's because of cars riding next to the pit lane, so not too much action at the front of the pack, where just the pace is decisive. 34.1, fastest lap of the race by Peter Wolfslane just a little bit ago, and that's some miraculously quick times. Wonderful to see. He's able to extract so much pace out of the track in that 196 Ferrari Evo. Down into turn 3 for Baker. Nothing too major, seemingly dropping a bit of a gap there. And in the background we saw that Krista Yacht here, in the yacht in Texas, racing A23, might have a little bit of an acid problem in his house. Just a hot minute, because it looks like Walby, Johan Walby, that is from Sweden, is definitely gaining on him quite significantly. So any sort of mistake, and he'll be right on there to bounce on him. Definitely better than some real races to watch. We do have some wonderful drivers out there. We have some real action. Obviously, we don't have the large scale. We don't have the production from the 24 hours, as we're seeing Chris Yacht there with a big moment. Oh, on the exit of turn 11, I think. Yeah, turn 12. Knickerbrook, that is. Oh, he's supposed to concede the position there. It's not what he was hoping for, but he'll be happy to just carry on with his race at the moment. Looks like Mark Hawcock here also in a sort of same scenario, deja vu, perhaps for me, as we're seeing another Essen trying to get past the Ferrari. Yeah, that's the TRG Racing 13 leading. Let's see if there's a sort of similar pattern in between them, if there's any other mistakes. So looks like there was no rejoin attempt by the Bentley there up at the front. So only Hughes supporting them, and in that sense are representing the brand during the current times. Sorry about that. It's a solo commentary getting to me with after a long stint yesterday. Hope you're having fun and enjoying that. And we do have the track map. I also think that we do have pit wall live running somewhere. If we have a exclamation mark pit wall command, go give that one a try. There might be a track map on there. Obviously you can bring that up for you too, but that probably is something you don't want sent off screen, so I'd have to look elsewhere. As we're seeing the 38 there, what's happening there? The 38 definitely a bit off the pace there for a hot moment. That must be Neil Bywater there, dropping quite significantly, and we're gonna go back 30 seconds as we're seeing him being passed there side by side now with Diamante, who was significantly behind him. Stairs side by side coming across the line. Looks like he'll slot in at the front, but we'll take a brief moment to enjoy ourselves a replay of what happened there. So Neil Bywater here, and you see the Ferrari was quite far away. Let's find out what happened, because Bywater was doing a great job, and he seemed a bit slow on the exit here. Looks like he's still doing fine. It must be up into Druids where the car caught him. He was 6th place at that point in time, is now finding himself in 8th. And a lot of trouble to the grass on the outside. That sense of spinning. What a beautiful recovery though. And a smart rejoin too. He made the most out of the situation after the left tire got stuck on the grass there for him. Ooh, it's a tough one. So now Bywater down in P8, as I see there's still a back screen. There we go. Now we have it. Have to be patient with getting everything on your screen here. Terry Trowbridge, that's the Aston Martin leading this pack here, the number 97, as we're definitely seeing Eric Dond here and Andreas Peterson in the number 30. It's a sort of fight we have at our hands for P16 here. About 20 minutes into this race here. It's an absolutely fantastic run so far. Up at the front still, Peter Wolfslane leading this pack then it's going to be Bird and Vanderband, Eklund and Wood. Not much has changed, but Bywater has dropped a couple of places. That's definitely going to benefit these lads quite a bit. So I'm quickly just trying to set up a nice comparison. So for example, Pokop started here in 24th, finding himself in 14th. The same story goes for Walby from Sweden. Jorgen Walby started in 22nd and is almost in the top 10 at this point in time. It's just goes to show that maybe I was off in terms of the qualification position being so important. It's down to not making as many mistakes as we're seeing. Some major pressure being applied here by the number 30 onto the back of the 963 Ferrari here. So we're now heading up into turn 4. That's going to be Island Bend here. Very quick one, about 210 kilometers as they're sending it now onto the brakes, hoping that the car isn't going to escape from them into Shellhole's corner here. Nice and tidy is what you want to drive through the second sector here. 7, 8, 9. It's Britain's right on the head. So we are looking to just narrowly avoid both these curves. They're just too tall to be any good for your tires. So wonderful stuff there. Very cleanly driven, and in the background we still see an Aston Martin chasing very quickly here, side by side there for a brief moment. It looks like Baker got the job done on Pocock very quickly here. Wow, it must be a maneuver right on there. It looked like he was going around the outside, and for those of you watching very attentively, you might have seen that there wasn't much of a hassle for him. He got done with that maneuver right away. So moving on a bit up the grid here, Peter de Jong and Walby are having a bit of a fight, and I'm also following the storyline here up at the front, where Bird has significantly dropped. Definitely a bit of a moment for him. Last lap a 35.0, which has gotten Carlo Vanderbrand within striking distance here, as we're seeing a side-by-side further up ahead. Let's have a quick look here. Alessandro Diamante defending very heavily here in the AF Corsa. It looks like Bywater had a run on him up into turn 5, but not much could be done at that point in time, as they're all sending it over the curb, just on the edge of the track. Wow, wow, wow. These guys are definitely making this an exciting race now into the braking zone, spotting the braking point. The 38 is trailing behind the 51 now. See, he comes and crosses him there a little bit. Quite interesting to see that these lads are fighting so closely. Now he does have the inside, Alessandro Diamante. Now all of a sudden in a defensive spot, looks like the traction control must have kicked in for him as he's dropping back the position, and potentially another one. Is he perhaps having issue? Alessandro Diamante falling back, and Neil Bywater here moving up a place into 7th. Let's see if he continues to defend here. The number 51 letting go of the place quite quickly. So now around the outside, but looks like he just wanted to have Bywater passing by in that sense. No funny business in this point in time. Very close fights now down the grid here, is where Mark Pocock was overtaken already by Baker. It looks like the Ferraris are struggling here at this point in time. Hope you're all having yourself a bit of popcorn and some snacks, because otherwise I don't know how you're going to get through this. There's so much action. Alessandro Diamante, same story, being chased by KB Smith and Peter de Jong. So many close fights on the track. Oh, Throwbridge went very wide there. That's going to be a big warning. Stewart's going to be looking and getting ready to slap him with a drive-through if he does that 3 more times. That's for sure. That was way outside of the track limits. Now in the background we see it right on there. It's Eric Dont. Wow, under big pressure. We see Peterson not quite past yet, and it doesn't look like it's going to be into turn 5 this time around either, but it's very tight now up at the front. I was talking about the storyline a little bit ago, and it's going to be a follow-up on that in just a second here. Derek Bird in the GBK is not as quick as Carlo Vanderband in the background here. Let's actually bring up a very beautiful graphic for you to have a look at. Let's look at the sector comparisons in 1 second here. So Derek Bird now only just in 2nd place. And here you go, I've got it prepared. So Derek Bird, you see the big one being quite significantly red. Let's maybe make that a little bit bigger still for you to watch here. So 34.7 against a 34.5, and a big difference. He's losing lots of time in the second sector. That's where we're going through right now, and this might be the exact opportunity for Carlo to make a move in that number 4 here. Let's see how he hits that right there, approaching the 9 p.m. mark, and definitely a noticeable drop in temperatures as the sun is completely fading away at this point in time. Very close fights here up at the front. Let's bring up the rear view. Let's actually go on board here with Carlo in just 1 second. Go to the dash view and get this overlay out of your way. Wonderful to see. Now the sun is already going down. It's not cloudy at all. It's absolutely clear skies, which means the time's gonna drop just like Carlo almost had to drop the anchor there once again, right into the rear view into the rear view mirror of Derek Bird there in an instance. It reminds me of the 24-hour race quite late during. At 30 minutes to go, we had a Porsche completely obliterate the rear end of a BMW there, in case you were watching that. Not the most exciting race during a lot of the time, but this one definitely has it covered, and trying to cover off the inside now in probably just a second is going to be Derek Bird. That's the car ahead. We're currently on board with Carlo in the number 4 here, so he's making very good use of the track. There, nice rotation, but all of this fighting, while it is beautiful to watch, is giving a big hand to the car up in front, and that is going to be Peter Wolfslaner for you, and he's just cruising off into the sunset of England. And what a race it's going to be for him. Peterson still apparently stuck behind Dont here, 5/10s, and still chasing, as we are following this beautiful battle for position number 2 on track. Team West Coast Wankers against the 701 here. Bird is definitely in big trouble if he can't keep up with the pace here. Side by side by the looks of it here, in between P16 and 17. Let's bring that up center of screen for you. Looks like Peterson was side by side with him at the start finish straight, but not too much in the end happening there. So we're now seeing Lars Eklund as well getting some feisty looks by the number 71. You see it on the deltas there, definitely closing the gap quite significantly at the moment. Lars Eklund losing some pace here. So multiple battles here. Chris Hjort and Chris Baker, Chris Terry-Hjort and Chris Baker as well. Now, we have a bit of an opportunity here. To the inside then goes the Oulton Texas 823. Wow, wow, wow. So many fights all around the track. It's difficult for me to keep you up. There's so much action. And it's absolutely lovely to be able to commentate on this for you, lads. Out there, it's the 45 minutes round number 5 of the eSeniors. If you are interested, make sure you join that Discord as well. It's an absolutely fantastic community, and I hope you are going to have just as much fun if you're 50 years and above joining this community. They've got multiple groups, they've got different cars, they've got a wonderful admin team, and they've got some fantastic action here. Chris Hjort again forced to defend side by side now for a brief moment up into turn 1. Oh, this is hold corner for you. It's a very difficult corner to overtake, and side by side then this is forced to the inside. Let's see if he can make it around the inside. Yes, he can. Oh, what a move there by Baker. Wow, that's gonna go into the books here. Wanna get another shot of that. What was that? By Chris Baker moving up into 13th there from England with a little bit of a greeting censored around the outside. The absolute wonderful manner that is. Ooh. Now then, with an update here, last lap 35.0 for Bird against the 35.1 of Van Brabant. Looks like they've kind of found their rhythm, kind of found the point in time as we're seeing a Ferrari on the side of the track. Don't tell me that's your race leader. No, oh, that's a different Ferrari, different livery. I was surprised to see that Dimitri Status there almost put it into the wall. Looks like he was able to just save it and run off there. That would have been disaster for the number 12 Sim Racing Montreal team. Well then, Mark Pocock here with AMG troubles in his rear view mirrors. We're gonna jump on board here in just 1 second with Andreas Peterson on board here for just a moment. Once we're going down into turn 3, we're gonna see how close this gets. The racing number 30 here now on board. Get that in. Look how close it is actually going to the cockpit cam itself with some beautiful shots here live and in action. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. We're now riding on board here. Let's actually get that HUD out of the way for you, get all that racing action. Look how intense this is going to be as we're chasing each other into the next second sector here. That's going to be Britain's. That's the very difficult section up ahead for these drivers to navigate as we're now jumping the curb, probably second and first gear eventually, using all of the track to its maximum. And Andreas Peterson and Mark Pocock very much still in a close battle here for position 15 around the track, getting very close there. Probably could have gone into first gear for the extra rotation, but he decided to second. Oh, commentator's curse, they made contact and around the outside, benefiting from all that. That's Terry Trowbridge, who makes best use of the situation, and it looks like it's another benefiter from the situation. I think that might have been no, that's not that. That's actually Alistair Hughes there. Yeah, I was about to say it. Just found him now. Hot diggity damn. After losing traction there, Pocock goes sideways and pays for that mistake with 4 places all at once. Bring up the timing towers once again for you. What a tight race. The Alistair Hughes thinking about going to the inside for a brief moment there. Not that time around. Goes very wide there in that 16 Bentley. This is one of the closest fights on track. Up at the front we also have Eklund and Wood, who have found each other as sparring partners here. Even though it's not the spar ring, it's actually Oulton Park here. Doing something very special in terms of the way that they're trying to prove who is actually supposed to be driving in P4 at this point in time. This is a very tight group here too. Let's actually see if there's a development up at the front in a second. Keeping an eye out for you if anything goes sideways there. Not too many position changes obviously at the front as we are quickly switching on over after we seeing the end of the straight here. Alistair Hughes with a decent run, and it looks like it's actually to the outside then, missing the braking point for Peterson. So hope he's not going to benefit from that. He actually rejoins quite significantly behind the pack as we're now moving up to the front. This is Lars Eklund in the Eklund 696 right here. That's the Ferrari going for the fast left-hander and being chased by a very aggressive number 71 Porsche in the background there, trying to make his way past, because by the looks of it, last lap 3/10 quicker from Jonathan Wood. That's the Porsche in the background there. And it seems that the pace is slowly starting to fade off for some of these guys, because the only car still in the 34s at the current point in time is Carlo Van Brabant in the number 4 car, who's chasing a little bit after dropping from Bird's rear view. So my body calling for oxygen there in a moment. Just gotta breathe in and actually take in as well the views that we're seeing here. 9:35 p.m. starting the race just before sundown, and now that the sun is more than just gone, it's starting to get quite cold out there. Optimum track conditions, but just 15 degrees. And the PSI will certainly take a dip, as the cars are gonna also then take a dip down the hilly mountainside of Oulton Park here. Looks like a lot of dust being thrown into the air by the Aston Martin ahead. Pretty sure that's Paunov, but let me quickly confirm that it's the 69 actually. Yeah, Mirs Paunov, that's the car ahead. It's the Aston Martin number 69. It's now jumping to the rear wing here of Lars Eklund, who's having a bit of a troublesome moment. They're still going to have the inside now, fighting quite valiantly there. with the Porsche, and in any other sort of scenario you would have had to concede the position there, but it's just so difficult to get any sort of move done around this track. So it's going to be once again Jonathan Wood taking the short match out of the bunch and staying right on behind. Quick follow-up here in the fight here where we've seen Alistair use Terry Trowbridge. That's the sort of fight we've been keeping our eyes on in the background here. It's a fight for position number 15 then. So we're seeing them once again enter this fast section. As this car spun around, there's going to be Peterson in the background there. Tragedy for the number 30. Oh, they already had a slight moment a couple of laps ago, and we had that on screen as well. Let's go right on back 30 seconds and have a look what happened there. Oh, tragedy for Andreas Peterson, jumping on board and actually to the cockpit cam. Don't quite like the dash on the AMG. So fifth gear brakes, fourth, third, there's just no room. Where's the downshift? Oh, and that's the grass for him. But unfortunately, fortunately actually for him, there was no other car involved at that point in time. So it looks like there's no harm, no foul there. Just a couple of positions dropped. He finds himself back in P18 here. Yeah, P17 for a brief moment there, I think. It's now being lapped by some of the fighting cars. You might recognize them from the color scheme that is actually ahead of you. The fight for position 2. It's Derek Bird and another car off in the background there. Let's see. That might be Tony Whitten there in the Havon Racing. It's off to the side of the track. And once again, too many fights to really keep on up here. Terry Trowbridge on a big fire too by Alistair Hughes, and just want to get everything in for you. It's just wonderful racing by these eSeniors out on track in the group number 1. It's clean and fair and square as well. What a run he's gonna have on him. Let's jump to the rear wheel camera with that number 16. Is he gonna go for it to the inside? Oh, too much respect at that to go for a move like that by Alistair Hughes. And once again around the outside, he's definitely the quicker the car out of the two at the current point in time. There's just no room for him to get anything done. And then we definitely, quick update here, up at the front, Peter Wolfslehner. We didn't see it on stream. However, if we look at the timing towers, if you recall, there was a 10-second gap there, and he's basically befuddled all of that in the last lap there. This 144, which means that not only does Bird have a car right on his rearview mirrors, he actually has the fight up at the front as well. So this definitely changes the dynamic of this entire race quite significantly, because chances are that might have cost him some tire life in the process too. So it could be that Derek Bird now kind of signaling in the body language of the car that he's not looking to fight with the position 3 Carlo Van Brabant in the background for you much at all. He's just trying to catch the leader once again and then have a decisive battle at the end of the race, if at all, because 5 minutes are on the clock. This race is flying by absolutely here. I'm having an absolute blast, and the drivers out on track are doing the best to keep it at that. It's a very tight fight for lots of these guys. Now, right now, Derek Bird is definitely in a bit of a pickle, because he's got to push, while Peter Wolfslehner is the quicker car out of the two of them. Let's bring up the graphic for you to have a quick look at that. So, it's losing time in all 3 sectors by the looks of it. Quite significantly so. Oh, it's not too fantastic here for Derek Bird, who wants to catch up with Wolfslehner, but he'll definitely have to step up a little bit if he wants to do so. Lars Eklund was previously fighting with Wood, but we have missed the overtake. It looks like Jonathan Wood makes it to Porsche 2, 3, and 4 in number 71, because he has gotten past Leckland after he must have made a mistake. That's a 39.0 lap for the 969 driver from Sweden in the background there. So a couple of position changes, and by the looks of it, exactly now, 2 front Ferraris are having issues. Might have to do with the car, with the tires, or the way they've been driving all race. potentially it's just a little mishap in the midst of it. But I'm interested to see what's going to happen. And by the looks of it, we're having a bit of a moment there. Carlo Rubberband spotted it. Oh, let's see what happens now. Is he going to rejoin the head of Wood? Yes, but barely so that battle completely vanishes into thin air as Carlo made a mistake and spun the Porsche around. Looks like 10 p.m. is the magic hour to make mistakes. So we're going back down the order a little bit. Fight for P14 is hot and bothered because Terry Trowbridge is having a mighty fine white Bentley visible in his rearview mirrors, as both of them are going for a little slip and slide around the outside there. Looks like that is going to cost both of them exactly as much time as you would expect, so they are still chasing each other, but mistakes are definitely coming into play. 40 minutes of the race day is already over, and we've been spoiled here really with so much action, so much close fighting in the background, side by side to Ferraris there. So there's a bit of contact. Terry Trowbridge with a slightly slower exit finds himself shoved and shunted by Hughes there, who rejoins behind him very sportsmanlike so. But that kind of goes to show that these two cars are absolutely not at the same pace at the moment right now. Some mistakes sneaking in and the driver fatigue coming into play. 2 minutes 20 is the remaining time in the race here tonight. It's gonna be probably 2 laps with the current race pace as Peter Wolfsliner, leader of the pack right now, coming right on around turns 16 and 17 already done, as we're now heading onto what is the second to last lap. Oldhold corner and a couple of more turns for him still to clear if he wants to bring home the dub here. And a couple of fights now potentially again for Wood against Eklund, but Van Brabant not losing a position means that they've been driving at such an astonishing pace for the majority of the race that he still can make a mistake like that and get away with his life. So once again here, Terry Trowbridge with his sparring partner there, Hughes, dropping a little nugget of knowledge for you. That car is the Aston Martin front engine just as much as the Bentley to the inside there, and forcing a mistake which doesn't cost him enough time there. He's jumping the curb quite significantly, losing traction sideways then for Terry Trowbridge. They're going to go side by side here in a moment, I reckon. There's big contacts, they're synchronized, diving around. That's a big hit for both of them. Let's see what happens when the cars join around them. But a big hit. Oh, and troublesome too there, Derek Bird. Oh, he needs to go past. There's blue flags, and now eventually we see a pass. Oh, by Alistair Hughes after that sort of contact. The cars can't vanish around there, and we see the collision between the number 16 and the number 97, where eventually out on the head comes the Allen line by Alistair Hughes. Oh, wow. What an incident. Very late in the race. It's probably going to be the last lap once Peter has already come around once more. So it's going to be the final lap of the race here. Very tragic shift in dynamic for lots of these guys. So time is technically over. It's going to be the last lap for the majority of these guys. Wonderful racing so far all night long. Terry here now coming under fire as well after that incident. He's definitely lost a lot of time, and by the looks of it, the front end, oh, that's going to be a big impact! Terry Trowbridge can't save it from the wall, and he's just looking to limp it home at this point. He's going to be dropping back 18th place for now, but that change is probably within not too much time, as he's definitely limping this car home. Oh, let's go to the dash cam and have a look at that. The front windshield is completely broken. He's just trying to slowly bring this home, and even on the straight, by the looks of it, the lights are completely buffeted. Oh no, what a finish for him. So he's just trying to bring this home, but we can't forget up at the front here, leading all race with a pole position, with the extra coaching, and with a dominant performance as we've expected in somewhat of a sense. Peter Wolfslehner is the man of the evening. Once more in the eSeniors, he's had one mishap, but that's not enough to topple his empire. Coming across the line, checkered flag for Peter Wolfslehner. He's going to take the dub home tonight. Coming across the line, Derek Bird then with the checkered flag ahead of position number 3, Carlo Vanderbrand, and then in 4th, it's going to be one more Porsche. It's the 71. Wonderful stuff there, and in the background, I'm pretty sure that's going to be the Aston Martin of Terry Trowbridge. Just limping it around. Might be Paunov actually overtaking him for P19 here in the end. So coming across the line then, Jonathan Wood brings home 4th spot as the 3rd Porsche on the grid, followed by Rogerio Santos, not too far behind, as we now seeing a wonderful in-lap procedure. KB Smith, hopefully now hopeful with the fact that he's finished the race in 6th position. Wonderful stuff there ahead of Lars Eklund, who was way up at the front, but had some troubles then later during the race. It's going to be P7 for him after being 3rd for such a long time. Jörg Walby is 8th, around on track. Then Neil Bywater in 9th place, where Alessandro Diamante has already crossed the start-finish line in 10th position now, where Peter de Jong is, well, not quite doing an in-lap, just unfortunately parking it and doing a donut. I mean, he's got two first places, actually 11th if you combine them, unfortunately. So Chris Baker then and the Rotec Racing number 10, as there's people unfortunately already leaving the session. I think we talked about this, didn't we, lads? So Krista Yort then eventually finishes 13th. Dont Hughes Patterson, that's P16 for you. Pocock, Paunov, and a very, very unhappy Trowbridge in the end. Well then, this has been an absolute cracker of the race, but don't be afraid, we don't have to leave yet, because there's going to be some fantastic driver interviews for you tonight, just as always. Super excited to get to talk to the lads. So if you get them in the green room in here, we've had a fantastic race up in here. I'll take just one moment so that everybody can join in time. It's again a bit too quick. I probably should have captured the race results. Let's see if I can get everything on there so that I know what I'm doing. So it should be Vanderbrand into here first. I already see your position 2 finishing. Bird here, Derek Bird is already waiting in the green room. Perhaps we have to wait just one more moment so that everybody can figure this out. If you are watching one of the top 3s, Vanderbrand, Bird, or Wolfslehner, we would love to see you in the green room for an interview. Wolfslehner is in here now as well. Wonderful to see that. I'm just waiting for the number 4 car, finishing 3rd position. What a race this has been, and a big change and dynamic. For hopefully you've had a wonderful time watching the eSeniors here. Great fight, certainly. Derek versus Carlo, because he got that spot on, and what a race indeed, Benjamin. So let's find out then. So by the looks of it, Vanderbrand not in here. Maybe he'll join us later. However, in the meantime, we have no other than the Bird. Bird is the word tonight. Position number 2 finish. Wow, wow, wow. Great racing.
Could never keep up with Peter though. Way too fast.
Peter has been, I already told it on the stream, a little secret. We actually had a bit of coaching before the race. He was so afraid of your pace, actually.
Well, no, you'd never worry about that. I know he'd be much faster than me. Especially in race pace. My race, I was struggling in the race when I had the warm the other night. I wasn't that fast in the race pace. Especially towards the end with the tyres going off. I'm really struggling tonight. I had a couple of little offs. And right in the last lap, I had it off into the grass. I thought Carlo was going to catch me then.
Yeah,
I managed to hold it.
we saw that just
Yeah.
briefly, the aftermath. You definitely made things exciting, and obviously we know that you're leading right now in the Cup Championship there as well. We don't have Peter around there. Maybe you want to send him an invite for that one if you want to be
No,
challenged.
he's okay. Stay where he is. I'll stay at front of the championship then.
That's wonderful to hear. So congratulations on your P2. We're gonna bring Carlo.
Yeah.
We're gonna bring Carlo Van Brabant into the chat here as well. Congratulations P3, and what an exciting race finish! Just being kept behind Bird there for a good time. What a finish!
Yes, it was good fun. I was trying to find a gap to get past Derek, but obviously made a few mistakes myself and had trouble for one lap, and got the grip together, focused back to be on track, and start plowing away again.
Yeah, that was very, very nice to watch. So considering that in the championship you've had some ups and downs, what are you expecting from the next couple of races, Carlo?
Snetterton will be an interesting one. I'm very good in small tracks. It's the ones that I worry about afterwards, the longer international tracks.
Right.
It's a matter of finding a good setup, and we do a lot of practice with Jonathan Wood. We practice all week together and finding good rhythm and balance, and
that's very good to hear.
That's basically what you need to do, is find good rhythm.
Yeah, and certainly one driver out there who has found the rhythm. So thank you very much, Carlo, for the interview, and congrats on your P3 finish here tonight. Peter Wolfslaner, we've already had a talk a little bit earlier here today. Wonderful to see you in the booth too. Just one little mishap, but that wasn't enough to topple your empire. It's P1 finish once again for the Peter.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, and also congratulations to Derek and Carlo. What a great race. I saw that the two guys, really very close together, and this was a little bit helping me. Yeah, thanks, Niklas, for the congratulations. I had about 13 minutes before the end. I had a left rear puncture. I lost the car nearly 2 times until I really took off. So, and I just try not to hit anything and not hit the wall, and I made it. And I look at the map. I said it might be close. I hope I did not anybody. I had a no unsafe rejoin, and then at the end I was lucky that 2 guys position 14 and 15 in front of me, they had contact, so I nearly stopped the car. And not so I said, oh my god, not this.
Yeah, we saw that on stream too. Bit of a moment there, slowing down the entire train towards the end of the race. Regardless, you came out on top. Wonderful finish there. Ferrari seems to be exactly what you need to be in. So congratulations on the once again P1 finish. So that's your race leader there, Peter Wolfslinger. We've had a wonderful evening. Lars Eklund going 5th, then Jonathan Wood in 4th. Van Brabant and Bird are the 2 Porsches, finishing 3rd and 2nd respectively. Peter Wolfslinger won it all. What a race. What a fantastic time we've had tonight at Oulton Park. This has been the eSeniors GT3 round number 5. It's been a pleasure commentating this for you, brought to you by SimSports Solutions. I'm Niklas Kraus, and I wish you a wonderful evening. Until next week.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Well done, Carlo. Well done, Peter.